welcome in to my messy craft room, as it always is. It is lovely to have you here with me. We're going to do a bit of crafting this afternoon, and we're going to have a little bit of a play with a new sweet. Just looking to see if we are actually going live on my Love-a-Duckie page. It's always difficult to tell because it doesn't always refresh. Let's look. So, hope everybody is okay. It's been a little while since I've been on live. Just because life has been very busy. A couple of weeks ago, I was in Cologne at Stamping Up's on stage event, which is always good fun. Let me just write some bits in here. Excuse me while I skitter away. So yes, we went on stage. We got to see the new upcoming catalogue, which is going to be from May to August. There's going to be a slight difference in the way that Stamping Up introduced catalogues, and I'll share a little bit of that with you in a minute. So we got to see new things, new exciting things, hear about exciting things that are to come. So that is always good fun, but equally exhausting. All that looking at crafting projects and busy long days. Yeah, it is exhausting, and I've got lots of classes and things going on at the moment. So life is very busy. So it is always good to find some time to come on and do some crafting with you. Right. Apologise. Just looking to see if it is possible to go live. They change things on Facebook so frequently. I'm not getting a go live button, which is making me wonder, are we already live? I will come back. If it's not going to go live now, we will just post. Oh, there we are. We are already live. So apologies if you've waited for me to faff around only to find out it's already live anyway. So good afternoon. Brilliant start. As I say, I've been to Cologne. I've got new catalogues in front of me. I can't show you what's inside the catalogue. I can only show you the front cover. So we will share a little bit of that in a minute. Who am I? You might be asking yourself if you have not joined us before. My name, as I say, is Helen Jennings. I am a demonstrator here in the UK. And this is my website, Love-a-Duckie.co.uk. So that is the central hub of where you'll find all of those many classes, those busy classes that I've got coming up. You'll find links to my shop. You'll find links to downloads and all sorts of things going on over there. So let's come back. Let's take that out. Come back here. So let me bring in, before I bring in my downward facing camera, let me just pop up a bit of a graphic that I've got about things that are coming up in April. Now, we're not yet at the end of March. I have 2 more classes to go in March. One is on Thursday, which is a Stamp a Stack class using the Friendly Foliage bundle, making 2 each 3 different designs, so 6 cards in all. So that is on Thursday morning, and then on Saturday we have got the Saturday Stampers. And that is going to be masculine themed. That's one of the things that people often ask for is, can we have some cards that are a bit more masculine looking? So that is what we're going to be doing on Saturday. If you would like to join us for either of those, then that is possible. before I show you the suite, here is the front page of the new May to August catalogue. As I said, they are changing the catalogue strategy, not category, catalogue strategy a little bit. And starting with the May catalogue, rather than getting one big annual catalogue and 3 minis, we are just going to get one catalogue every 4 months. So this is May to August. There'll be another one September to December, and then there'll be another one January to April. They're going to be not as big as an annual catalogue, but bigger than the mini catalogue. And each of these catalogues is going to contain things like the inks and the basics. So it is going to be one standalone catalogue. There's going to be online exclusives that are going to supplement it, but I think it will be much easier rather than having to remember to go back to the annual catalogue to look at things like ink pads and ink refills. They're all going to be in here along with new products every 4 months. And as I say, in between times, there will also be online exclusives. So you'll get a new catalogue in May, you'll get online exclusives in July, a new catalogue in September, online exclusives in November, so on. You know, it just is it will work its way through like that through the year. So there'll always be new exciting things to look at, but you're only this one sort of quarterly catalogue or 3 times a year catalogue. It's not quite quarterly, is it? This catalogue that's going to come out 3 times a year will be a standalone catalogue with all those basics in it as well. So I think that is going to be exciting, but that is for the future. This is for now. Let's look at something that we can get our hands on now and we can play with now. And this is the Garden Poetry Suite. So let's go from the top downwards. We've got some beautiful Berry Burst ribbon there. Berry Burst is such a beautiful colour. So, and a real pop of colour as well. It's really zingy and yeah, jumps off your project. We've got these lovely little, they call them garden epoxy dots. So you've got some dots that are just sort of solid colour. I'm not going to say plain, nothing plain about them. Some that are solid colour and some that have like this flower effect, almost look like a little pressed flower in resin sort of effect. So yeah, really pretty in these bold colours. So what we've got: Flirty Flamingo, Berry Burst, and Blueberry Bushel. And I would think that is, let's have a look. Ooh, crushed curry. I was going to say it's crushed curry. It is indeed. So there we are. There's those beautiful little embellishments. I'll add those to my ribbon. Let me get myself a little basket to put those in so they don't go missing. Here we've got the Paradise Garden hybrid embossing folder. So the embossing folder, as you can see, embosses all of these leaves. And as we'll see in a minute when we look at the bundle, there is a die that you can use alongside that embossing folder. So I won't put that away just yet. But let's bring in the stamps and dies. So here is the bundle. It's called the Paradise Garden bundle, and we've got these floral images, and they're really quite a good size with these biggish flowers and leaves, and quite a nice collection. So you've got this pair of flowers here, this with a stem, this little one with a stem, and a medium one with a stem, these flower heads, and these 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves, this sort of dotty piece just here, and a thank you, wishing you a lovely day. You are appreciated and you make the world a better place. So a nice stamp set, and then the die set that goes with it. So you're going to have the dies that are going to cut out these stamped images, but on top of that you've got this wavy banner, you've got this sort of straight banner piece just here, you've got this hexagon piece just here. So there's all your dies that are going to cut out your stamped images plus those others. And then you have this one here that is going to work alongside your embossing folder. And we'll when we get it the right way round, like that. Sit in that embossing folder and you'll be able to run that through, and we will have a play with that in a minute and see what sort of an effect you get when you emboss and cut with that hybrid embossing folder. So that is the suite of products. As I say, really lovely suite of products. Really zingy, really real pop of colour. Those in there as well. And here we have the papers. So as you can see, there's sort of like an ombre effect to them. They go sort of almost from a blackberry bliss through the berry burst down to a lighter pink, and then the reverse side are these lovely big sort of the variance in shades in there. You can sort of pick out a piece from that darker piece if you wanted, or you can come quite light down here and go in sort of reds and corals. How beautiful is that? Obviously would make gorgeous scrapbook pages as well. Is the blues. With the back to that one, and then we've got some greens. Really lovely, nice big, bold, quite big pieces with the background. Oranges and yellows. Love this paper, beautiful, isn't it? And this one goes full sort of from the blues down into the green, so you've got a real variation in colour in that sheet with the greens and the blues on the back. Looks like almost when you use the salt, sort of the way that's been, that background piece just there, sort of a flick of it. You use salt on watercolour. Oh, it's a good fun technique. And then we have the textured foils. I don't know how well you're going to pick up. Oh yeah, I think you can see the texture in the back there. And you've got these three colours of these textured foils, real jewel colours. Beautiful. Right. Let us have a little look. Let us start. Let's take this embossing folder, and I'm going to take some, I think I'm going to go shaded spruce. Let's find ourselves a bit of shaded spruce. And I'm going to cut this to 10 by 14.4, I think. The equivalent to that sort of max size in imperial would be 5 1/4 by 4 inches. I'm going to pop that in there. We will see. Let's see what it does. Put that in place. That's sitting rested on there quite nicely. Yes, it felt as if it had raised up a little bit, but I think we're okay. Bring in stamping, cut and emboss to move my mug out of the way. And I also need I'm just looking for my grey plate. I had it this morning. Everything has timbered down by my feet. If I can't see it, I'll go and grab one out of my box. Let me go and grab one. Do talk amongst yourselves for one moment. Goodness me, they've all gone walkabouts. I've got 3 of them, so how can they all hide? Oh look, now I've found the one that's I was using this morning. Right, okay. We need, it's going to be one of those days. We need a base plate. We need our embossing folder. Is that sitting right in there? Thanks. We'll see. It won't go through if it's not right. Sorry that I am wobbling you. Let's take that through there. Let us see what has happened with this piece of card. So it does look sort of like, a bit like the holly one that we did. Sort of does partial cuts. So these bits are raising up. To give a 3D effect in the background there. Of course, you don't have to use the die with it. You can just use it as a standard embossing folder. And the other thing that you can do is take your paper snips and snip some of these bits out. I'm just going to hang on to these little bits just here, like that. That to one side. We could put this on a different colour background, but I think I'm tempted, let's see what it looks like, to go with hard base with the same colour. But it's the same green underneath. Looks quite good. So there we have all this sort of texture now to it, because all of these leaves are popping up. And I hang on to these bits that have popped off from the edge. Let's make sure that these are lifted. Raise me up. There's a cue for a song. Ink is bunged up, obviously. Right, so let's put some spots of multi-purpose adhesive under there, avoiding the places where the leaves are popping up. Catching those edges. There we go. So take this little bit just here. I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on that edge. It catches on the edge, but the leaves will still lift. And another one just there. So we'll do the same. We'll just put a little bit of glue on this edge so it sticks down, but we'll lift that bit. And the same with this bit here. A little bit on the edge. And lift that bit. So there we have a real 3D effect on that background. Find and stamp set. I think what I'm going to do is take some of the little flowers. There's that one and this one. So the two little flowers that are just flowers on their own, they haven't got any leaves or anything with them. I'm going to pop those both on a block. We've got Ointment of White that will do us well, that one I think. Now what colour shall we go with? I think I might go with Berry Burst actually. Now this will be the first time I have stamped with these two particular stamps, so I'm just going to take a bit of scrap paper stamp them up. It's looking a little bit as if my Berry Burst could do with re-inking. Let's just do ourselves some Berry Burst flowers. I'm going to take, obviously don't have crushed curry, but I'm going to take the Dark Daffodil Delight blend and I'm just going to add some yellow centres and shading to the centre of these, just to give them a bit of something extra. There we go. And we have dies that will cut out these flowers. So we want that one and we want that one. just like that. And like that, I do believe. I'm actually going to come along to this one just because they're getting quite close, and I really don't want to have my dies overlapping because they will cut into each other, and if they are that close, pop my machine next to me. Let's die cut some of these flowers. Bring in our background. We'll have some of these sorry, I'd got those dies nicely lined up, then for some reason moved it round and couldn't find where it needed to go again. 1, 2. I think the first time you die cut with these sorts of flowers and things, it's a struggle to work out which way round dies and things are supposed to go. And then after you've used it a couple of times, I think you get your eye in, you sort of pick out things that you know you need to focus on. So for this one, for instance, that sort of pointy bit just there goes with this pointy bit just here. Now, are those two dies far enough? I think they are just about going to squeeze through there together. Make sure they don't move. Just sort of sneaking some of these flowers in. I might move those around in a minute. We will see. Let's got a magnetic board beside me. I'm just going to turn it round so that the ones that I'm using now, so I've got a couple of other dies on there waiting to be put away. So we will pop some of those on there like that, so they're scattered in amongst those flowers. Let's have a little look at sentiments. A big thank you. You're appreciated. You make the world a better place. Wishing you a lovely day. Do like that big thank you. Take that. And let's grab a strip of basic white. I've got a whole pot full of strips of basic white. I'll go berry burst with this as well. Let's give that another. Should have stamped it off first because it is its first. First stamp, that's better. Find my big scissors. Just trim that round. And to pop that into a bit of, give it something in the background, I think, rather than just the white. And trim around the outside of that. Right. Bring in some dimensionals. I'm going to move my flowers out the way for a minute. Can tuck that so it goes underneath that leaf, and those leaves are coming around the top there. Could have this one coming up here. Yes. And let's snuggle it in amongst those leaves. Bring in a few more dimensionals. I think we'll have one tucking over the side of that banner just there. We'll have one coming this way, I think. And one there, and again we can have it tucking underneath that leaf. That backing didn't come off, did it? Let's try that once more. Tucking that underneath that leaf just there. Let's have one here. Another one just here. Do we want that to go with that one? Ooh. Yeah, I think I'll have it going there. Let's have it tucked underneath that leaf just there. And we'll have this final one up here. So we've got these beautiful green leaves. I might just put a little bit of spot of glue and actually stick that one down there. You could put dimensionals underneath these if you wanted them to sort of rise up a little bit, but they might sort of be very visible. But yes, by tucking the flowers under, that's going to hold them up. So there's one little card, a little thank you card. Want to have those. Just take some of the dots, I think. I'll just put some of those round and about as well. We could add in some ribbon. Do we want some ribbon? It is quite a nice narrow ribbon. Let's have a look if we want a bow as well. A little bit bigger. We could put a bit of a bow. You want it on the top? Want it underneath? Underneath, I think. Let's get ourselves a glue dot. Where is my next available glue dot? Just there. It's got a real nice shimmer to it, this ribbon. I'll tuck that under there. There we go. We'll of course need a bit of an insert in it because it is a shaded spruce card base. Just cut an insert. So 13.9 by 9.5. Bring in our berry burst. And some of these flowers just coming down this bottom edge. And we'll pop that inside. So there's one little card, just using that embossing folder and the die combination, the hybrid embossing folder, to create these sort of 3D leaf effect, quite a jungly effect on the background there. And just added in some of those little flowers to that one. So we'll do one more little project. So obviously, if you should decide to come and join me for this sweet spotlight using this garden poetry suite, you will already have a couple of projects in the bag to get you started. Put that to one side. I'm going to move that big die to one side. Let's put our little embellishments back and our ribbon so that if we want it in a minute, we can find it all. Stamps a little bit of a face wash. Right, for this second card, I thought I would do slimline card. Now, I know that the sizes do vary with slimline cards, depending on where you are in the world. The top of my head, I cannot think of the US sizes, but I know they are different just because of the envelopes that we have sort of in our local markets to fit them. So I'm going to do one in metric sizing, and then obviously it can be changed up a bit. Imperial sizing, size 5. I think I'm going to take a berry burst card face. So I have got here a piece of A4 card. I'm going to cut it so it is 20 centimetres long. So it will be 20 centimetres by, didn't quite go through, 20 centimetres by 21. And I'm then going to score it at 10. Which will make my DL card case. Like that. And we have a piece left over that we may well come back to in a moment. Let's take a bit of basic white. Now, I've not necessarily measured this now. We can come back and measure it, what it needs to be exactly when we finish doing our stamping. But let me find the stamps, because I want this big double flower with a stalk. It's what I'm looking for. Here. And again, I'm going to do these in berry burst. I've got the berry burst theme going on. Let's go through this box. Whenever you're choosing your block, you need it to be big enough, but you don't want to necessarily go any bigger than you have to, because if you've got a block that's too big, that can have a tendency to rock and cause issues. Let's stamp this off onto a bit of card. Let's try turning that round, shall we? Yeah, if you want to do two-step stamp, if you want to do reversibles, just put the stamps on your block the wrong way round. That's starting to look a bit better, isn't it? It's got something underneath it that's stopping it being flat. I'm going to bring in my piercing mat and let's try that once more. That's better. Right. Ink up this stamp. Put my card on here. And I'm going to stamp on there. I'm actually going to find myself some masking paper, I think. Finding the right drawer. Obviously, I will open every drawer until I get to the right one. We have a bit of masking paper. Now, it won't matter that I haven't re-inked that. I'm just going to stamp over that. I just want sort of a basic outline. Let's try that once more with feeling, because I've done that on the backing. Oh, that's a bit shiny. Once more with feeling. I'm just going to roughly cut round this. I shall only, I don't know, I might need the bottom flower for the, I'm going to be too precious about the stem. And I'm not going to worry about the bottom stem at all. So I'm just going to cut around this. The stem. Excuse me, little flower. I've got quite pink fingers. That's from the ink that's on the backing piece that shouldn't have been there. Make sure you stamp on the right side of your masking paper. The other side is a bit too plasticky. It won't, the ink will just sit on the top. Right. Look at me. What a mucky puppy. Take this. The most difficult piece of part of using masking paper is getting the backing off if you haven't got it caught up where there's a split in the paper. Got you. Once you manage to get it separated in one part, the rest should come off quite nice and easily. Just going to take some of the sticky off of that a little bit. Oh, my stem's torn now. But that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that. Let's bring back in a bit that we've stamped. And that's that one. We're just going to lay, I think at the moment I might only need that one. Actually, we might need that bit in a minute. Lay that over there because I'm going to bring this in and stamp another set of flowers. And then we'll bring this one in. And we will stamp another set of flowers. I think that will be enough. So that masking then, the fact that we've masked that flower, makes it look as if those stems are going down behind it. I'm going to put a few little leaves on there. So we may need our masks again for our leaves. What leaves shall we go with? I think I might go with this. How many leaves are on there? 4. Let's go with that one. Let's find a block. Obviously, We don't necessarily have to stick to the shaded spruce and berry burst type combinations, but I might bring in some of the paper. So for now, I will. Now, do we need... Right with that one. Oh, silly woman. Wrong colour. Hopefully we will get away with that. Let's make sure we put this in the right colour this time. And I think we'll have this bottom leaf. We will mask down. The bottom flower we will mask down there. And we'll just have these leaves coming out of there. Take that mask off. Obviously, we can save our masks, pop them in with your stamps and use them for another project. I'm going to take my Shaded Spruce blend. And I'm just going to add a bit of green to these stems. And I'm going to bring in Berry Burst blend and just add a bit of shading. To the centre of these flowers. You could use sponge daubers to add different colours. So we could have used sponge daubers and added green to the stem bits and a different colour to the centre of the flower. Okay. Let's bring in our trimmer. And let's have a look. Let's tuck that down to... we'll go 6.5. We'll go just there. And then height-wise, we'll cut that to... I'm going to go 20, I think. Let's take this piece of Berry Burst that was left over from the top of that card base, and we'll cut that to 7 by 20.5. So 20.5, we're just going to cut half to the centimetre off this end just here. That will then sit on there. Where's my card base on? Here it is. Now, let's have a look at these papers. I'm going to move some of these out the way so we don't dunk our papers in them. So some papers we definitely don't want. We don't really want orange or that sort of really dark orange. I don't think we want blue. Could possibly have a pale green. That's more oranges and red. So I think it's a choice of these two. So shall we go? Doo, doo, doo. There you are. Let's stick these together so that we know that they're attached. It's annoying that I used that wrong ink on that one leaf. Never mind. So, do we want, I don't think it would want to be dark green, but we could have some of the green in the background there, or we could stick with the berry burst. I think the green would work, but I think I'm going to stick with the berry burst. Let's cut that. So it is 9.5. So our card base is 10 centimeters wide, and then we're going to cut this to 20.5 as well. So it's actually going to be the same length as our mat. So it will look like we could cut 2 strips and have a strip coming out either side. That looks quite pretty, doesn't it? Let's add this on here. I'll put that down in place. Do we want some ribbon coming round it? Let's. Why not? By George. Let's have some ribbon going round it. So we will have that coming around there like that. And stick that down on the back with some tape. It really is a blustery, wet, we keep having sort of downpours of rain. The sun shines in between, but when the wind blows and the rain comes down, it's really not at its most lovely. Let's put that in there. I think we will pop that up on some dimensionals. I seem to just have little ones in my drawer at the moment. Have I got any hidden big ones lurking? Only black big ones by the look of it. That's fine. Just use little ones. And I'll go and dig some big ones out in a minute. So what I will do is when I have finished this video, I will go and edit the description on both the YouTube and the Facebook version, and I will add the link where you can go and find out more details about the Sweet Spotlight Club. And as I say, wherever you are in the Stampin' Up world, you are more than welcome to come and join us, have fun with this suite. And we say we'll look at a different suite each month and make sure that we're getting the most from it. That's the main thing. Buy the suite, use the suite. Hopefully by the end of it, I'll have given you lots of ideas, and you'll perhaps be able to even share some ideas with each other. Facebook group, if you've had a play yourself. There, that's quite pretty. But we need a sentiment. What sentiment shall we have? Wishing you a lovely day. We will go shaded spruce for that. Let's find ourselves a little bit of white card. Let's stamp that first because it's its first stamp. It's a lovely script. And I think we're going to go wishing you a. Then let's cut around these. Another cue for a song. Lovely day. Bill Withers, I do believe. I won't sing to you though. Nobody deserves that. Just a day to go. Not a whole day. We're not going to keep you here for another whole day. Just the word day. So other than having a slightly funny coloured leaf, wishing you a lovely day. And it's day down here. going to take the lighter Berry Burst Stamping Blend and just go over this leaf. Hopefully those two then will just be different colours to these two. And that at least looks a bit balanced out, as if somewhere along the line it was meant to be. Right, let's tuck this ribbon under there. A bit of a knot in there. Haven't got any green ones. That's a shame, isn't it? Might have to go Berry Burst again. Let's look down here. Right. There we go. Again, this will need an insert in it, but I will put that in. It needs to be a nice long one, so 9.5 by 9 by 20. I think it will need to be to go in the middle of there, and we can put some of these big flowers, put some leaves on it as well. The insert. But there we go. There's a couple of different projects made using that garden poetry suite. I hope that has whet your appetite a little bit for having a play with this suite yourself, and considering coming and joining us for our Sweet Spotlight Club in April. So if you would like to order from me directly, if you'd like to order yourself a suite to go into the class for free with your suite, then do head over to my online store. So I'll put you some links in the description so that you can do that a little bit easier, and it would be lovely to see you. Alternatively, you can pay equivalent of £18 to come along if you already have the suite, or if you are buying the suite yourself, and because you are a demonstrator or because you are living in a different region of the Stampin' Up world. But it has been lovely to spend a bit of time with you this afternoon, whether you're watching live or on catch up, and I will catch up with you very soon. So take care.